Yeah.
We got the diehards here. It's not over, folks. Have you ever heard of a certain woman who goes on TV? Her name is Jeanine Pirro. So make sure you come back for that and tell all your friends. And we're here to introduce the results of the straw poll, which is brought to you by the Washington Times. And their very able president, Chris Dolan, who's a wonderful friend, a great conservative. It's okay if I say that, right?
Okay, I'll take it.
is gonna get us started here. Chris.
All right, thank you. We at the Washington Times would like to congratulate you on another great year at CPAC and for the guidance and energy you provide the conservative movement. Every year, the results of the CPAC poll provide a roadmap for conservative thought. But before we get to this year's results, I wanted to take a minute and let you know what's going on at the Times, make you an offer I hope you can't refuse, and finish with a promise from our newsroom. Recently, the Times was declared one of the most trusted news brands in America by an independent survey of U.S. households. We did not commission the survey, but we were not surprised by the results, and we do not take that trust lightly. The Times was founded 40 years ago to provide a strong anti-communist voice in Washington, to promote American values, freedom, faith, and family, and to challenge the media establishment that catered to coastal elites. The news industry has changed greatly during that time, and not for the better. Opinion has replaced reporting, conjecture has replaced sourcing, and confrontation has replaced moderated debate as a growing number of outlets have rushed to amplify the sport of politics for ratings and clicks. Not at the Times. Now, more than ever, our editors and reporters remain dedicated to being an inside the Beltway publication for readers across the country and around the globe. We keep opinion on our opinion pages, and we cover much more than DC crossfire politics. In the last week alone, the Times has had exclusive stories outlining the growing alliance between Iran and al-Qaeda that has U.S. intel officials on edge. The Pentagon's emerging plan to refocus the training of America's special forces for engagement with China and Russia, a major shift in mission from post-9/11 radical terrorist groups. And we kicked off a new series on border issues and immigration. It's going to be a year-long effort. It's our fourth such effort in the last 15 years. It started with a story that looked at the smuggling ties between the Aryan Nation and Mexican cartels. Now, our commitment to opinion-free reporting doesn't mean we lack opinion. In fact, Charlie Hurd is our opinion editor, and he's not known to be too shy. We also have columnists Stephen Moore, Wes Pruden, Tammy Bruce, Monica Crowley, Ralph Z. Hallow, and I am thrilled to announce for the first time publicly that the former governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, will soon begin penning a weekly column for you at the Times. The Times is here for you, and we don't plan on going anywhere soon, but the cost of our 24/7 operation is hefty, and we can no longer afford to give away our content online. That's why we recently rolled out a new digital subscription service for users of our website. And for CPAC attendees, we have a special offer of 20 cents a day, which we sent to your email today. And if you didn't get it, you can always get in touch with Matt. He'll get it to you.
I'm going to do it, okay? 20 cents a day, I could do that.
I got to do it.
Right.
Just got it up for 80.
Yeah. If you read regularly, sign up. If you don't, take another look. We still offer 6 free articles a month. Make us part of your daily routine, and I promise, if you explore our site, you will find something informative, interesting, and entertaining every day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for everything the Washington Times does. The one thing that it's been amazing, you just said how many years?
40 years of the Washington Times.
40 years.
Nearly.
And the Washington Times outlasted the Graham family. It's amazing. So there's been a lot of changes in DC media, and you guys have really been there for a long time. And it's definitely something we all turn to every day. So thanks again for everything you do for CPAC. And now, the pollster with the moster. or something like that. Jim McLaughlin, Jim McLaughlin is the pollster for probably most of your favorite candidates and incumbents who do the right thing in Congress and have high ACU conservative ratings. Jim, it's our honor that you are going to take folks through the state of the conservative world and America generally.
Thank you, Matt. What a pleasure. I've been going to CPAC now for what, over 30 years.
You're getting old.
And back when I was first coming here, Matt and I both had black hair back in those days. It was a lot of fun. It's all the campaigns that have made it go gray in the meantime. But the most important thing now is this survey, it's about you. And I look at it as being about you. Reason why it's important, you guys are the base. You guys are the heart and soul of the Republican Party. That's why I pay attention to these numbers as much as I do to any voter poll that I do out there. So without further ado, here's the CPAC survey. Okay, she told me it was good. President Trump.
Hey, you jumped ahead. What are you doing there? Are you playing games?
No, I got it.
Okay, come on.
Good, we're good. We're good now. President Trump, I think you folks, did you like his speech? Well, unfortunately, to get all this stuff done by now, we had to shut it down before his speech, so I apologize, and I want to thank everybody who did this. But of you, 91% say they approve of the job that the president is doing. The base is there. The president is defining the conservative movement right now, and it's not only 91% approve, 65% strongly approve. And let me tell you, you can't get 9 out of 10 Americans to agree about much these days.
So what you're saying, Jim, is at 91%, with all the polling you do, that's almost like unanimity.
This is about as close to 100 as you can get. I mean, you don't even want to look at the crosstabs because it's across the board. It's 91% job approval. Last year it was 93, and before that it was 86%. So the president is capturing the hearts, the minds, the soul of the conservative movement. And as I go through some of these other numbers, you're going to see what I mean. When we ask the following question, which of the following comes close to your own personal opinion, they want 76% say the Republicans in Congress should be doing more to help President Trump. So 3/4, they don't want them capitulating to Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic leadership, or even the Republican leadership. They want them to follow the president's agenda. This is the Republican primary question. This is always the big one every year. The president is struggling right now. He's only getting 82% of your vote. Okay, so the next closest person, he's beating Mitt Romney, who was our nominee at one point. He's up by 76%. Think about that. The president right now is beating his next closest competitor in the Republican primary by 76 points. And oh, by the way, the one guy who supposedly announced, you had to really pay attention because nobody was really paying attention, but Bill Weld, he's at 1%. He's at 1% with a bullet. So I don't think the president has too much to worry about right now. Now, this was an interesting question. We were asking you folks. We said, which Democrat do you think is the biggest threat to President Trump winning re-election in 2020? And the plurality, 39%, said Joe Biden. After that, there's not a lot. Bernie Sanders at 12%, Kamala Harris at 11%, et cetera. You know, some of my other, Cory Booker's getting all the 1%. But it's interesting. Joe Biden is the one that you folks feel is the biggest threat to the president right now. And then we ask, generally speaking, what forces within the Democrat Party have the most power and influence when it comes to driving the Democrat issue agenda right now? They don't say it's the Democrats running for president. It's only 8%. It's the Democrat socialists in Congress right now, like AOC, 43%. And we see that now. That's who the Democratic Party is kowtowing to right now. And unfortunately for the country, that's what's pushing them in that direction. Even Schumer and Pelosi were next at about 28%, and then they said kind of the liberals, the Hollywood left, it was around 19%. Has the Russia collusion investigation been fair or unfair towards President Trump? 83% say unfair. Only 13% say it's been fair. By the way, last
Let me ask you a
year.
question, Jim.
Yeah.
Do you do some of this polling at the bar or something? I'm trying to figure.
Why?
It's
What's that?
13%. I can't figure out who that
You know
is.
what? There's a couple that say, hey, we want to get it over, and that's it.
I wanted to like go to the end.
You know what's interesting? We asked the question a little bit differently last time. It was in the low 50s, said it was fair at that point. Now it's gone up to 83%. The more folks are seeing, the more the CPAC folks are seeing on it, the more unfair that they think it is.
Why are you letting the media vote?
And now, I like that. Look,
Please, it's not a fake poll. Don't do that to me.
if they got the code, they can vote. But you got 68% saying it's very unfair. You come to CPAC free next year.
That's right.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Now remember how the press was telling us, speaking of our friends in the media, remember how the press was telling us, oh, conservatives won't go for the executive action on the border? Well, when we told them that, 74% agree with what the president is doing with the executive action, trying to build a wall at the border. And again, a lot of intensity. It's 57% strongly agree. Only a quarter disagree. By the way, they love the Green New Deal. You know what? Not only are our brethren good, fair, honest, and smart, but they're really smart. 93% of the CPAC recipients oppose the Green New Deal. 91% strongly oppose the Green New Deal. Only 4% favor it. It's got to be a couple of
But
those
you heard
millennials.
earlier, shh, let them keep going. Keep going.
All right. Now on tariffs, remember there were a lot of folks saying the president was going to alienate conservatives when it came to the tariffs? We basically read his position on the tariffs versus the other side's position on the tariffs, and they agree with the president on the tariffs 68-26. They said, I support using the threat of tariffs to promote free trade among countries. So the conservative movement, in many ways, has gone along with the president when it comes to an issue like this, and we've seen it on some of the other issues in the CPAC survey. Now, here's a fun one. Perceived honesty of our friends in the media, okay? I'll tell you, the CPAC folks are smart. 83% say Stephen Colbert's dishonest. Anderson Cooper, it's 77% say he's dishonest. Only 15% say Anderson Cooper's honest, and he's supposed to be hard news. Jolton Joe Scarborough, it's 75% say he's dishonest. Bill Maher at 72, and you can read the rest of the numbers. But, you know, and rightly so, our folks, the people here, they have a lot of distrust when it comes to the media. We only had so much time. Next year, we'll ask Chris
We
Cuomo.
got the biggest trons you can get into this room when we couldn't fit all the names that we need to fit on there.
Let us know. You can email us and tell us next time.
Are those the results?
That's it. That's
All
it.
right, well, let's give it up for the Washington Times and for Jim McLaughlin.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
And I don't want Larry Beasley to be mad at me, but I saw Larry standing over here who runs the whole Washington Times outfit and is one of our board members. Larry, thank you for all you do and your wonderful wife, Lori. And with my mother looking at me over here, I have the really important responsibility of telling everybody who is so inclined, because we do believe in the First Amendment and the freedom to practice your religion. Roman Catholic Mass is at 6 p.m. in the Chesapeake A to C room. Come join us if you want to go to Mass.
I got to get up and go.
And thank you very much.